Okay, so it's been a long time since I made a video, and the reason for it is we moved. We moved to Las Vegas, Nevada, and I didn't think we could grow stuff here, being a desert and all. But as you can see, I am, in fact, growing things. I've got some jalapenos. They look good. It's real early in the season here. It is April 8th. These have been in the ground. These lettuces have been in the ground for more than a month, maybe a month. And these have been in the ground for 2 weeks. We have not had a frost since 1st of January. So, average overnight temperature here right now is, this week it'll be in the 60s. Last week it was in the 50s. And it hasn't been below the 40s in a month. So, I mean, we've had some really, really good weather this year. We had basically 2 weeks of winter, and then it went right on to spring for us. So, these are my sweet banana peppers. They look pretty good. When I bought them, I thought there was just one plant in the little container, and there's two, so I might have to pinch one of those off because it's not a huge pot. These are my tomatoes. Yes, I know there's too many in the pot. But what happened was I wanted one of these little plants, and they only sold them in a 4-pack. And I just have the hardest time throwing away perfectly viable plants. This one here is a bush Goliath. He's already got tomatoes on. I know. Be jealous, all you who are still suffering freezing temperatures, but I already have tomatoes. And there's 4 of them, but you can only see a couple, 1, 2, and then there's a couple little ones back there that you can hardly see, like 3 and 4. And of course these are Sweet 100s, and I probably will pinch at least one of them off. This is broccoli. I have a whole pot full of broccoli. I'd never grown broccoli before. I have no idea what I'm doing with it, but I thought I'd give it a try. I know it's a cool weather crop, and it doesn't stay cool here very long. Matter of fact, it's going to be 90 degrees today, so we'll see how it goes. I've got some little ones. I actually started from seed, but I got impatient. The seeds weren't sprouting fast enough for my liking, apparently. And yeah, patience is not one of my strong suits. So I went out and I bought some plants. I didn't only wanted 1 or 2, but they came in a 4-pack. Once again, couldn't kill them. So, as you can see, there are 4 in that pot, and then all these little sprouts are also broccolis that came up after I put these in. These have been in for 6 weeks. And they look really good. They're really strong and really hardy plants, and they're actually sort of pretty. So, I don't know, maybe later when we get a house that we're not renting, we'll do a whole edging of them because they're just beautiful. And then this is the mammoth jalapenos. They're the big variety that you can stuff full of cheese and all the yummy goodness. Once again, I got 2 of them, so I'll probably have to choose which one is stronger and pinch one of them off because peppers are a lot like tomatoes. They're the same family. They need a lot of space, and the pot is really not very big. As you can see, it's only probably 10 inches tall. But it's actually kind of wide, so maybe it'll be okay. These are more of the Sweet 100s. This one here is the Big Boy tomatoes, and it's got lots of flowers, and it's actually going to put on some tomatoes pretty shortly for me already, and it's doing pretty good. All this stuff will have to be staked, but for right now it's good. This is cantaloupe. I started it in the house, and it only went outside yesterday because I started it late. Well, late for us, but it has plenty of time. We don't get frost until December anyway, so it's got plenty of time to do its thing, and it'll be plenty hot, so hopefully it'll survive. These are my cantaloupe, or no, they're not cantaloupe. These are my yellow squash, and I didn't want to do yellow squash because I've fought squash vine borers so many times, and I get so frustrated. There's 3 of them in here. There were 4, but 1 died. But when I went to the nursery, they told me that they'd never fought squash vine borer. They'd been growing them for 15 years, and they'd never seen one. So maybe here in the desert I will get lucky, and I will have yellow squash without fighting. These are large red bell peppers. They're obviously green right now, but they turn red when they're ripe. And you can eat peppers at any stage, so you can eat them when they're green, or you can wait till they turn colors. When they turn colors, that's when they're at their most nutritional, and that's when they taste the best. So you should probably try to wait for your peppers to ripen. But I've got one there and one there, and I got 2 or 3 little ones coming on as well. So they look pretty good. Okay, so this box is a disaster. It started out innocently enough. I started with wanting to do an herb box. So I had some green onions, and then I planted seeds for a lot of stuff, and it didn't sprout. Well, I thought it wasn't going to sprout. So I went out and I got some plants, and I put some pepper plants in, and there's a strawberry there. I know, too close to the peppers. And then those back there are tomatoes. And this right here, this little patch of green in the middle, that's peas. I've never really grown peas before. So, of course, I made a rookie mistake, and I didn't check to see if they are a vining plant. I thought they were a bush plant. And they're not. They're a viner. So, they're going to vine something. I mean, I know there's this trellis back here, but the tomatoes are on that. And so the peas are going to have to basically overtake the tomatoes to crawl up that. And that back in the corner is broccoli. And here are, you can't see them, they're tiny, tiny, tiny. Maybe I can get an image of one of them. But there's these little tiny sprouts from the seeds that I put in there, and those are marigolds, the small variety, not the large variety. I didn't make that mistake again. And then there's some little tiny sprouts you can't see here, and those are carrots mixed in with marigolds, of course. So I've got about 10 of these little pea plants that popped up because I planted 2 peas per hole, thinking only half of them would sprout because these are my seeds from 2 years ago. And they sprouted. So we'll see how it goes. That's probably going to be a disaster. I know it's way too much stuff, but that is 40 gallons worth of soil. So hopefully it's okay. We'll see. I can always fertilize it heavily with compost tea. This is a celebrity, and I love celebrity tomatoes. They always perform beautifully for me, and I can't say enough about them. I've already got a ton of tomatoes on. This one's been in the ground for a month. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 back there, and then 7, 8, 9, 10 there, 11, 12 tomatoes, and it's got just a ton of flowers on it. It's probably got 30 or more flowers on it, and like I said, it's early April, and this thing is already performing so beautifully that I think that will probably be the only type of tomato I grow next year, just because they have never let me down. I had, the first year I was put in a big garden, I grew 4 of these, and I probably got 50 pounds of tomatoes off each one of them. And that is probably going to be the only one I grow next year, just celebrities, because they are amazing. Alright, so this little pot has my cucumbers. And it started out, I had 1 cucumber plant, and that would be the bush variety that's in the middle. But then, someone gave me this one that's over here, and that's the Japanese variety, the real long variety. They get like, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 inches long. They're real big. And then this variety I bought because, well, I wanted one of each. This is the pickling variety. They're the ones that only get about like this, but they get nice and fat, and you make those good dill pickles out of them. So I got the 3 varieties, the bush variety, the pickling variety, and the Japanese variety of cucumber. And that's pretty much everything that I have this year, because obviously I have to do everything in containers. We do not have dirt like you think of dirt, like soil here. What we have is packed, it's just rock over packed dirt and rock, but the dirt isn't dirt, it's like sand. So you can't do anything with this. You have to put a box in that goes up, like, you know, a garden box or whatever. And because we rent this house, that wasn't an option. They wouldn't let us. So everything's in containers this year. And I think I'm going to be happy with this. I was really unhappy last year not being able to garden, but I couldn't do the heat. And I was pregnant last year. So I had my son in August, and he's getting to be a pretty big boy. He already cut his first tooth, and I am taking him out in the garden daily and showing him my plants and talking to him about plants. So by the time he's big enough to actually talk back, the kid will know more than I do about plants. This cantaloupe, I'm really hoping is going to make it. It's really kind of yellow. I don't know if I've overwatered it or what. I mean, I know it's really wet now because I just watered it, but it's kind of sad looking, so I'm really hoping it'll pick up and fill out. But alright guys, thanks for joining me. I hope you guys come back and watch my videos again. I will see you all later. Bye.